All right, here we are at Bucketheads. It is very loud in here. People are watching football games, so I apologize for that ahead of time. You probably aren't going to be able to hear a few things. But we have a lot of guests today. So we have Daniel to my right, which don't even worry about how it looks on the camera. Dana, she's been on before. Sometimes funny, sometimes just sits there. You never know. Kevin's been on a few times, and Mafalda, you also know her, is the first base ref who can't make a call. Other than that, we're having a pretty good time here. So, some people here from softball, kickball players, but we're going to mostly talk about kickball today.
We can talk about holes and holes.
How'd you guys do today? Did you win? You lose?
All right. We won.
That's good. All right, so we're going to jump right into things here. It's been a month since I did a podcast.
Since you did the podcast.
Since I did a podcast, it's been a month.
We were trying to keep it going.
Yeah. So, I will go ahead and address one mailbag question. Hold on, where's it at?
That started early.
Of the 5,700.
How come we haven't had any podcast in a while? Iceman, I don't know who the hell that is. That's a legitimate question, though. The reality is, I just needed a fucking break. Like, I was doing something Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday every single week, and I needed a break.
You were in Vegas one weekend.
That I was also in Vegas too,
yeah.
Working.
Yes.
So, it was. I was just too many things.
Has anybody else noticed Ryan's little notepad?
No.
That's a live question.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna get rid of that question. That question is answered. So we'll go back here. So how about we finish our start where we finished up with the regular season? Because we're done with the regular season now for Monday night. So let me throw up a new screen here.
I was going to do a shout out last week, but I didn't want to piss everybody off.
What was your shout out going to be about?
I was just going to put the number 6 up.
6.
Look at the standings.
Oh, points allowed. That's pretty legit. Not even gonna lie, that's legit. So here are the final regular season standings. Elite. Shit. There you go, Talbert.
There's the one.
Pac-Man's Revenge, Kicko Mode, Red Hot Chili Kickers, SK Commandos, Pitches Be Crazy, Better, Faster, Safer First, Wasted Potential, Fireballs Deep, and Irish Wombats. So, preseason. So people give me shit about my preseason ranks all the time.
We did do preseason ranks,
So my preseason ranks were Elite number 1, SK number 2.
Sucked on that one.
SK had a forfeit though.
Yeah.
Kicko Mode number 3.
Yeah, SK would have been 2 if they didn't have forfeit.
Sheet number 4. Number 5 through 8 were kind of like a middle ground conglomerate, which all those teams ended up pretty much in that range. Then my bottom.
Except for Sheet.
Well, they were my number 4.
Oh, they were. Okay.
And then at the bottom, I put Wasted Potential, Fireballs Deep, and Irish Wombats. So, pretty close. Actually, I would go as far as to say if SK Commandos didn't forfeit that game to Pac-Man's Revenge, I pretty much would have nailed it. Just saying. So, pretty accurate. Fourth.
Did you play it?
So I will say this though, people were asking about sleeper teams. The real sleeper team, in my opinion, was Red Hot Chili Kickers, but I wasn't going to say that because I wanted us to fly under the radar. The only teams we lost to were the top tier teams. So all those other teams that people picked as a number 5 sleeper team, we beat. So Pac-Man's Revenge, Better, Faster.
Who was Sheet's?
Oh, don't do anything there.
Who was Sheet's other loss to?
They lost to Elite, and they lost to... no, they beat Kicko Mode. They tied...
So was our other loss to Pac-Man or to y'all?
No, they didn't lose to us. I think they lost to... The top 4 teams all played each other. So they lost to Elite and SK. And they tied Better Faster last game of the season.
Ooh.
Yeah. So...
Which, it wouldn't matter. They would still...
So obviously these ranks that you see here determine the playoff seedings. My power rankings, if you will, I still have Elite at number 1. I mean, they didn't lose a game all season. You can't exactly argue against that. I still have SK at number 2. And the reason I have SK at number 2, they had a forfeit loss. So they really should be a one-loss team, which would put them at number 1.
Have they
or number
won
2,
that
rather.
game, though? They could have always lost that game.
3rd seed, power
I mean, they would have,
rankings.
but they could have.
Kicko mode started the season really weak. They got much stronger as the season went on. I think about week 4 is... we have an audience member saying they started the season fun. But no, by the end of the season... Actually, by week 4, I think they got their roster pretty much straightened out, and they were good to go. Excuse me.
So it just depends for SK what team shows up for the playoffs.
Very true, very true. Man.
What are the rules as far as the roster and participation during regular season?
Technically, there are no requirements as long as they are on the roster. So there's no requirement like you have to play like half the games or anything like that.
So you're not going to see a different SK team
Probably.
go to the tournament.
Every team is just a new team right now.
All right, so enough of the standings. Let's take a look at playoff brackets.
No, I'm right here.
Uh-oh, we have food incoming.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Where's my food?
All right, so
Yeah, when you guys got yours. That was a long time ago. Y'all are already digesting
here are
your
playoff
food.
brackets. If you look at these brackets, every matchup in the first column there is going to happen this Monday. And the winners of those games will also play a second game on Monday. So Elite will be playing their first game on Monday at 7:30. So will and Pac-Man's Revenge. So do we have predictions here?
Okay, so I just make sure. So Elite, Kicko mode, Red Hot. Are y'all playing? Is Kicko Red Hot playing?
No, we do not play this week. We will play kind of like a play-in game as
Next
the 4 or
week.
5 seed next. Well, Veterans Day is next week, so the week after that.
2 weeks. Okay. So Pac-Man's Revenge, Shia, and Elite will only play one game.
Correct.
Everybody else except for y'all have the potential to play 2 games.
Correct.
If they win their first. Okay.
Correct.
All right, I'm following.
All right, so Better, Faster, Safe at first versus Wasted Potential. If Better, Faster gets their full roster, which has been problematic for them. They forfeited some games this season, including, I think it was a doubleheader they even forfeited. So as long as they show up, I think they'll beat Wasted Potential based on what they've shown throughout the season, which would put them in a game against Elite. Pitches Be Crazy and Fireballs Deep. Now this is interesting because they actually played the last week of the season. A little bit of a contentious game.
Who won that one?
Pitches Be Crazy won. Interesting to note though, Fireballs Deep has gotten better and better and better as the season's gone on. Like they opened the season, none of them played kickball. One of them had played kickball. 2 of them played kickball before. So they learned a lot. So it'll be interesting to see if they've learned enough by the time they play Pitches Be Crazy on Monday. Playoff scenario, I'm going to give the advantage to Pitches Be Crazy. Veteran experience. Problems are going to happen. Errors are going to happen. I give the advantage to the team that's not going to crack under the pressure.
Does that mean I'm reffing that game?
No, you're never reffing, ever. Ever.
That's right, people hate me too.
I am reffing.
And then SK Commandos and Irish Wombats. I got to go with SK Commandos on this one. Unless they don't show up and forfeit, which 50-50 chance apparently, so we'll see. Ashley said, we were loaded with all the established teams. Well, that's true, Ashley, because you were one of the top 4 teams, so all the top 4 teams had to play each other. We made you play more competitive teams instead of letting you slaughter lower teams. I think that's fair. I don't know. At the end of the day, everybody makes the playoffs. You got your chance in the playoffs, so. All right, so that's a kind of a quick playoff rundown.
I'm gonna go against you on one thing.
Ooh.
I think Fireball Steep wins.
You think it'll be pitches be crazy?
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think this will actually be the third time they play each other this season.
Seriously?
No, actually, I don't think so. But I want to say they played each
They've
other
improved-
earlier in the
they've
season.
improved a lot.
No, they have. But the thing is, like, will they be able to take they need to take one more step. Will they make it on Monday? I don't know.
We'll find out.
We will find out. Man, this cough killing me. All right.
How many Kevin's new ref? How about your assistant ref?
Which game am I roughing?
We will look at that schedule here. Upcoming games. Let's see. So, Kevin, you and Ashley will be reffing the SK Commandos and Irish Wombats game. I actually planned this out so that you wouldn't be reffing a team that you would be playing in the upcoming game. So that way no one can say, you made that team win because you wanted to play them. Because someone would make that argument even though it's not a valid argument.
Yeah, because I don't care who plays.
Exactly. But this way, it removes that potential issue of someone bringing that up. So, all right. So Ashley, Pac-Man, while they are one of the top seeds, they got there because of a forfeit against SK Commandos. If that. So they kind of got a free win there.
It is what it is.
You got more. How many tacos did you get, Kevin? Oh, wings. Okay.
I only got 2 tacos.
that's mine. You can take it. You can
So, part of the other reason why we have the
That's
playoffs
mine.
set up the way they are with Kicko Mode and Red Hot Chili Kickers not playing, we will have head ref program refs in all of the playoff games, which will be nice. So, Tyler will be reffing Better, Faster, Safe at first versus Waste of Potential, with one Pac-Man's Revenge player ref assisting, probably on third base there. I'll be head reffing Pitches Be Crazy and Fireballs Deep. I'll have 2 people from Elite on first and third for that game. And then Kevin and Ashley will be doing the, as previously mentioned, the SK Commandos and Irish Wombats game.
I like Ashley's comment right there. So, game is a game, win is a win.
That's true.
Pretty much.
Scared?
I ain't scared. Probably.
No.
Yeah, you look at him, he's trembling.
So just so you know, Ashley, the last time we played you guys, and it was a pretty close game, and I gotta say you guys were sweating it a little bit until about the 5th inning, I think, because we were actually up, I think 2-0 going into the 5th inning, or 2-1. We didn't even have our best player, who's back now, by the way,
Who's that?
Randall.
Exactly. I don't even know.
Dina, what do you think? You
I
be
don't
quiet.
even know the guy.
You should have gone to the barbecue.
I like to sit in the background and just let y'all duke it out.
Yeah, Ryan, was he at the barbecue?
Yes. Guess who wasn't? You.
Dana, was he at the barbecue?
What barbecue?
I missed it.
Yeah, so Red Hot Chili Kickers had a team barbecue that was suggested by one of our players. He wasn't there. Then everyone voted on a poll whether it was going to be last week or this week. Only 2 people out of the entire team said last week. Everyone else voted for this week. And needless to say, I have a shit ton of leftovers right now.
You can bring him tomorrow.
See? I told you.
Ashley said, never I glisten. That's very personal information, Ashley.
That's awesome.
No, Kickball had a party. Pretty much the full roster showed.
Oh, Kickball had a party the same night they were supposed to be out somewhere. What night was
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. It was the holiday week or something.
scavenger hunt thing.
Yeah, everybody was here. We get like this post from Kick Mode.
Also, very
It's our
important,
party.
this Monday we're going to have some boxes for the Mayflower Marathon Food Drive. We did this last year.
You
Non-perishables.
can bring your leftovers. There you go.
No, it has to be uncooked, unperishable food. So,
Just kidding. guys.
Non-perishables.
obviously, this is for a good cause. It's a big thing for the Southeastern Virginia Food Bank. It's a big thing done every year. If you listen to the radio, they advertise it all the time. So we're going to support that. Erica, actually from Elite's setting that up for us. She's headlining that.
Thank
Why
you,
are you
Erica.
raising your hand?
Question from the peanut gallery.
All right,
Peanut Gallery.
Peanut Gallery, what's your question?
Do we get 1 social point per can or non-perishable food item?
You will get 1 social point for bringing anything,
So you get 1 point for 100.
And then
1 point
a
for one.
second if your team brings the most.
The gallery is
So
displayed
bring
on
those
thumbs down.
leftovers in a can, Ryan.
Peanut Gallery doesn't like that. Does Peanut Gallery have a better suggestion?
Yeah, 1 point per can or non-perishable.
No.
food.
No.
From the hard guys.
No, because then that will determine the winner of the whole season.
Exactly.
No, I don't agree with it.
Or collect hundreds and hundreds of
That means you can just buy you can buy the win. Like no,
Hey, people are buying themselves in school. Why not?
we like participation trophies.
All right.
Get social points.
I mean that's true. That's a true participation.
Speaking of social,
Oh.
I am a little behind on that.
You're antisocial.
Yeah.
Who's Santa? Oh, Ryan, of course you
Are you stealing my beer?
Yeah, I am borrowing your beer.
Man.
God.
I won't return it.
So, when I get home today, that's going to be one of the things that I next on my list is to update social points
He's gonna eat leftovers.
while I'm eating leftovers. Yes. All right. Let's talk about this for a second. It's the largest season we've had on Monday night,
It is.
like by far.
Yep.
So, what are you guys' thoughts on the season
I like
compared to previous seasons?
it. I've liked it. I've enjoyed it. More teams, more competition, meet more people.
I wouldn't know the difference, so I can't talk about it.
Are you an expert on anything?
I am. I'm an expert.
We can't talk about that right
now.
I think you're an expert on complicated things.
I'm an expert on winning at life.
No, I don't think I'd agree with that, but
Kevin, how
Oh,
do you
what?
feel about this season compared to previous seasons?
It's been fun. I mean, I know it's not like under your control, but I mean, even teams would be nice. I think
It's hard to do.
the 4 games at once was tough,
Three games at once?
and it's a challenge.
it was definitely from a reffing
Yeah,
standpoint.
and I think that because how many do we have for spring and then draft summer?
So draft, we had 8 teams for draft.
8, and then spring was what?
Spring
7 or
was
8?
7 teams.
So I think that's the one thing which I mean I love the idea of the head rep program, but I think it kind of like got going at one of the biggest seasons, so it was kind of hard.
That is true.
But I
Well,
think
the other
I think
thing that
once
makes it
gets,
difficult,
if that gets
too-
established, it's going to help out a lot.
It would be nice if I had head refs from more different teams.
Yeah.
So it's hard when I've got 2 head refs from one team, 2 head refs from one other team, and
So you're saying I should sign up?
no.
Mafalda, your excuse.
So
for that.
everyone's probably noticed that I've been making fun of Mafalda about reffing the whole time.
Yeah, let's explain this.
You jealous about my awesome.
So, charity tournament, she's my first base ref. Which, I'm blaming this on you, Kevin, because you were reffing and you stepped out.
Oh, I did. I did send her
Totally
over
your
there.
fault, Kevin.
So it is actually Kevin's fault. So
Why did I
I,
send you over
We're on
there?
the same team, and you
No,
were,
but what did I have to do? What did
you
I,
were gonna go drink or something. I'm gonna blame it on drinking, but
I don't remember that day.
anyway, so Mafalda's at first base.
I was being a good team.
That's the only way I made it through that day was drinking.
There was a bunt by a girl. Girl's running to first base. Close, but not that close. Because I mean, normally if it's a bang bang, like I definitely can't tell one way or the other. I'm never gonna override the first base ref unless I clearly see one way or the other. So I see this play happen. I'm like, okay, that looks like probably out, probably like a step or so. So I see Mafalda do this. She literally like watches a play happen. She like looks to the left, looks to the right, looks back to the
help.
left,
I need
and
help.
very slowly, like exactly this slow, goes while she's still looking around. That like I am not even kidding. I am like, are you kidding me?
I was looking for.
And I look at her, and I'm like,
Oh,
she
you
had
know
no
what?
clue what she just
This
called.
is why I was because that was our first game.
Yeah.
And we hadn't played yet.
Yeah.
So I was in front of the bleachers getting someone to help me put my shoes and socks on.
Oh, that.
'Cause I
whatever
couldn't-
it was,
I
it
couldn't-
totally helped me out.
I couldn't reach my feet.
Yeah. So I saw that, and I was like,
Overall day.
holy shit, because I'm like, that was definitely not safe.
It was nothing
So-
personal, guys.
So I went and I talked to Mafalda. I'm like, Mafalda? Like, she was out by like a step and a half. Mafalda's like, well, I really don't know, or something to that effect. I'm like, oh, great. So, like, obviously, you still have no idea. You were just guessing.
I was helping out my teammate who couldn't reach his shoes.
And there was another one. I can't blame Mafalda too much on that because that was more of a rules thing. But she called the runner out, but it was interference obstruction call by the first baseman reaching across, interfering with the runner from getting there.
They told me foot on the base before the ball or after the ball.
But basically,
It still
the
comes
first
out.
baseman slightly slowed down the runner. The runner had to like jump over the first baseman. So
So guys, you
Was
wanna
that as
wrap
bad as
your
Trey
games?
Turner in the World Series?
no. So hey, by the way,
That's
complain about an interference obstruction call. Hey, World Series refs, they get paid a lot.
Holy shit, that was the worst call ever.
So you owe me money?
you start on
Is that
that
what
World
we're
Series.
talking
I mean, there's no safety base, and like that dude, like, oh man, his left foot hit the one third of the side of first base, and not to think that like in baseball, right, the full base is in fair territory.
Yep. So, yeah. Yeah, no, I get it. Look like a bad,
They got that
bad
one.
call. But
Like I just don't.
I don't know. I'm biased against this World Series, anyways. I'm a Dodger fan.
No.
Nationals should have never won. Hashtag sore loser.
Okay.
Sore loser. That's
It's
it.
all right. I mean, I kept saying we were the reigning world champions all the way up until Game 7. So
All right.
Couldn't do it.
Just want to dive into the mailbag.
Far away.
I think that's
All
all
right.
here.
That's the only
All right.
reason
So
why I
there's some old mailbag questions.
can we each pick a question?
I can't read from
No.
here. Just read them all. And we'll
Let's do
figure
them all. Start from the top. Go down
All
the
right.
bottom.
So will there these some of these are old.
I think Dana Mafalda should take that one.
All right.
I think what?
No.
Will there be a podcast from Wakapalooza? No.
We're not
What was
taking
the
that
question
one.
we were talking about?
We'll talk about it later.
Are we gonna have a Waka takeover of a haunted house during October? I don't think that happens. So no.
Yes, next October.
It kind of happened. We just weren't invited.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who signed up for the Junior League Scavenger Hunt on October 26th? Peanut Gallery, do you have an answer for that?
No one.
No one. Ouch.
What?
Nobody did.
What's new on Expanse? Well, another season's coming out on Amazon. I don't know when.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a TV show. It's actually a pretty good TV show.
We don't care
Sci-fi.
about
I like
that.
that. The
Next
question should be, what is Expanse?
No.
It's a TV
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. Can we please explain? I was thought like an expansion, like more leagues or something.
That's what I was thinking.
Favorite fall TV show?
Right now, mine is Jack Ryan.
Oh, dude.
I got-
No, yes. I watched.
Oh,
like,
wait.
I watched like the first 4 seasons of that last night. Or,
When
I mean,
does-
4 episodes.
When does the season come out for
Season
that?
2
November
started
1.
November 1st.
Oh,
yeah.
Season 2 started November 1st.
They dropped it.
Did they?
Oh, they did?
Okay.
Yes, it was
So,
supposed
no spoilers. I haven't seen the first episode yet. Don't spoil it.
Spoilers, go.
Hey, he dies.
He dies?
Season 1.
Everybody dies.
Everybody dies sometime in their life.
Okay,
Hey,
Game
I'm,
of
I'm,
Thrones,
I'm only on
right?
6.
I've
I'm
read
only on
all of
episode
Tom
4.
Clancy's books, so I know you're lying. He does not die.
Everybody dies. Is that what you want?
The movies are always different from the books, okay? Damn it, again!
Peanut gallery.
Ah,
Keep it up.
All right.
Party foul and peel-
she
peanut gallery.
cannot drink.
When do we get shirts for the upcoming tournament? Tournament day.
Makes sense. Tournament day.
All right.
When do the Red Hot Chili Kickers get their shirts?
End of season.
Hopefully before the
The day
playoffs.
after the playoffs.
After barbecue.
At the team party, damn it.
Yeah, they were giving out at the party. You didn't make the
Oh.
barbecue? Sorry. All
I
right.
think
I
I
didn't
think
get
5
home.
I think
We don't
5
know
and
shit on number
6.
6.
I think 5 and 6 should go to the end of the season party.
All right. Okay, so will everyone make the end of season tournament? Do we have tentative dates? Yes and yes. This was before the schedule was published. So obviously this Monday starts the playoffs. 2 Mondays from now finishes the playoffs. Unless
So that's-
there's one caveat. Unless I look at the forecast and it looks like there's going to be a shit ton of rain or storms 2 weeks from now, and then I'll push it up.
Why don't we do it on the 11th?
It's Veterans Day. We need
Veterans
to celebrate
Day.
our veterans.
I'm going to celebrate them while drinking with them after playing kickball.
We don't play kickball that day, do we?
That's what she's saying. She's asking to play that day.
Oh,
I don't know.
my bad. I wouldn't mind it.
I just like how we took off Columbus Day and Veterans Day, but we played on this is a different league, but we played on Halloween.
Some leagues didn't play on that Thursday. I'm just saying. Club Waka's volleyball league didn't. They took that Halloween
Yeah,
off.
we did not.
Oh, this is obviously too late, but if we bring a date to the Club Waka Kicks Cancer after party, can they get a wristband too?
Did they?
No. Wristbands for participants only.
There was
It was all right.
I did not go. I did
Man,
not go.
this cough's killing me.
I don't
Still.
remember it.
What?
I don't know.
I'm good. I'm good.
Can we talk about the fight?
What?
There was a fight.
There was a fight.
During Club Waka Kicks Cancer. Okay, so.
Drama.
Yeah,
That no. Let's not talk. Let's let that be.
Okay,
Let's,
so I'm gonna use the restroom while we talk about
yeah,
it.
let's
Like,
let that be.
yeah.
It was a charity tournament, and it was for a really good cause, and I mean, especially with everything that transpired after the
Yeah.
tournament. Let's focus on.
The positives
How much
and not the
did
bullshit.
Club Waka earn?
It was like 4,500.
Almost
So-
$5,000.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Did that include all the extra stuff?
I thought I saw the post was like just shy of 5,000. Like, it was between 45 to 5.
Which I mean, that's awesome. Who in the league has the best abs?
Not me.
Not me.
If it wasn't plural.
Let's see. Huh. Anthony works out constantly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Peanut gallery?
Maybe.
Probably Anthony, you probably do.
Okay.
In the league.
So the next games, everyone's got to have
That'd be
a
a solid
competition.
pick.
Best abs. Then we'll find out.
I'm trying to think young too.
So far, I've technically only seen one ab. Like, of a person, one.
That's what. Did you hear me? I said if it wasn't plural.
All right. What's your favorite Jello shot recipe?
I think these next two questions should go hand in hand with the end of the season party.
Next question: can we have a Jello shot competition to see who makes the tastiest?
Oh, not
If
who
you
drinks
can
the
make
most?
a good orange creamsicle Jello shot,
That's my
Better
favorite.
if you're a jello shot.
I'm gonna put a little star down on my sheet here and say Jello shot competition.
I love it.
Anything with pineapple, coconut.
no. Hey, I have to be like.
Blueberry.
You can't. Okay, so here's it. If you want to win a Jello shot competition, you can't just.
I'm afraid
make
to even
one
speak up
flavor.
on
You can't
the
do
whole
like,
alcohol thing.
oh, here's like my lemon lime, and here's my cherry, here's my strawberry. No, like
That's what
you
I'm
gotta
saying.
go all out.
You gotta
Like,
make a fancy pina colada, like blue curacao in it.
yeah, like a blue,
Alright.
like a blueberry lemonade or an orange
Yeah.
creamsicle.
Who pitches the fastest ball in the league?
Kevin,
Which team do you think has the
On
best
Friday
pitcher?
nights.
Very much in a kickball way.
Wait, I missed the second part. So
I don't submit questions to feedback.
I missed the second part. My bad.
Will's got a good fast pitch. Will does. He's got a fast one. He may not be the fastest, but he's got a fast one.
Nah, I'd say Kevin's. As long as you don't do like the flick thing and you actually throw it. Yeah.
You should see
So
him on
Kevin, like,
Friday.
half the
It's so
time.
much fun.
I do fuck
And you know
around
he's
a lot.
right. You see
I
him
fuck
like,
around a lot.
he's like, yeah, you're right. Okay, shut
I do
up.
fuck around a lot.
Which team you think has the best pitcher? Personally, I hate kicking against Troy the most.
Because he hits girls in the face and they're
Troy, so like, and that's like, the difference between Troy and I mean, obviously lefty versus righty. Troy's ball bites more consistently than mine.
Yeah, like he's got that curve, it will land every single time.
If he's on, his second bounces right before the plate, right inside the strike zone or right outside the strike zone,
And starts curving.
And then that next bite, if you're not anticipating it, so you can't swing here where the ball hits. You have to swing here.
You gotta anticipate
And
where
if
it's
you
going.
don't, it's gonna make it look.
Yeah, and especially like if you're trying to kick, like no joke. The first time I kicked against Troy, I was trying to bunt. It was under the old rules or whatever, and I bunted successfully. Well,
the old rules, that's easy.
I bunted successfully, but not how I intended to. I totally missed the ball with the foot I was trying to bunt and hit my back foot and went to the field like about
So Troy-
perfectly. Yeah.
I know I'm not like the best kicker ever, but in Waka, regular season tournament, Troy's the only person ever to strike me out or foul or had me foul out.
Now Troy's rough because and I would just say in general, at higher, more competitive levels of play, pitching someone a straight ball is not going to phase them. Slow, fast, if it's straight, they're going to put it into the field of play.
I disagree with that.
What they will struggle with is balls that are changing direction on them if they're trying to put the ball somewhere. In my opinion, anyway.
If you're trying to place it, yeah. Makes sense.
I mean, there's been times I've come up against Troy and had a runner on base. I'm like, I'm gonna put it in the right part of the field. Yeah, I didn't go to the right part of the field. I was trying to get to the right half. I went to the left half just because I didn't get a clean kick on it.
So what I hear is you just saying that Elite has the best pitching. Okay.
Yeah. Yep, pretty much. In a kickball way.
In a kickball.
I mean, if you want to bring a fastball, if you want to bring baseball out there, I'm more than happy to take them out.
Yeah. Any good team shout-outs from last week?
When was this question submitted?
I don't remember.
It doesn't matter. Last week. So, any good shout-outs from last week of games?
Can I think that far ago?
It's been so long.
We had Halloween.
Yeah, it's been too long. There's been too many parties since then. All right. Can I wear my adult diaper to kickball?
Yes, Bill.
Yeah.
Yes, Bill, you can. I'm sure someone submitted that from Bill, but hey.
Oh, was it really Bill?
It says Bill, whether it was. I mean, you can put anybody's name in there.
I guess that just on his Halloween costume this past weekend.
I really want to be on a good team for the draft league. How do I make my talents known? Don't make errors and mistakes in the field. That would be the best way.
That's a terrible way. You need to convince the captains that you make awesome Jello shots.
Show, don't tell. That's all I'm saying.
Well, but there's a qualifier. They said, how do I want to get on a good team for the draft league? So not just someone to pick you up early,
Well, can I
but to
call
be
out
on a
my
good
old
team.
captain? She said it's not who you know, it's who you blow.
Oh, well,
Well,
But again, is that necessarily going to get you on a good team?
I mean, if
That
you're
was the joke of the season.
All right. How much touching is allowed when accidentally running into another player? Like, what's acceptable and not acceptable?
How much of it is on purpose?
So-
This is an awkward question because I'm not following it very closely.
So,
like collisions. And
I'm
stuff like
going to assume they're going to talk about,
that.
collisions while someone's running, stuff
You
like
should.
that.
I mean,
Interference,
from a
collisions.
fielder or runner perspective, you should avoid contact at all costs.
Right.
A referee should take in consideration that someone's trying to avoid contact
So
in their
big picture,
judgment of the play.
the runner has a right to the base path. And the base path is defined as their route from base to base. That doesn't necessarily mean a straight line from first to second or second to third. That's a natural running arc, etc. Obviously, already on first, it's going to be a straight line to second.
But it also depends on where the ball is in play at.
True. However, at the same time, fielders also have a right to make a play on an active ball. So if there's a kick that goes right between first and second, right into the base path, and the fielder picks it up, they're allowed to do that. So when it comes down to interference and running into players, so in general, a runner always has the right of way unless a fielder's making a play on the ball. So in that scenario I mentioned where a fielder steps up to field the ball between first and second, if a runner going from first to second trucks them, that runner's out because they made no attempt to avoid the person in the field whatsoever. Right? Because we're not here to encourage you hitting somebody to get to another base, right? Likewise, or similarly, if there's someone standing in a base path not making a play on a ball, and they interfere with the runner's not out. So you see this a lot. Someone's running from second to third because you got the shortstop in that area. Someone's running second to third. The person never, the ball's not to me, and they just stand there watching the play. The person's trying to get from second to third, especially if they're rounding second and going to third. And this actually happened in a game last week of the regular season. And if that happens, the runner automatically gets the base. They're safe. Probably the only part where they gets a little more tricky is on first base. So on first base, we have the safety bag, which the runner's supposed to use, and the first base, which the first baseman's supposed to use. However, same situations type of apply. They can make an active play, etc. on the ball. However, if the referee determines that the first baseman, like say they're reaching into foul territory to catch the ball, which they can legally do, if the referee makes a determination that they impede the runner to prevent them where they would have been safe at first, the referee can call interference and give that runner first base. And I actually did that in the charity tournament.
Or likewise, if he's going to try and potentially get a double out of it, he touches the base, tries to make the turn, and hits the first baseman. There might be a let him take second. Depends on how it all works and how it all goes down.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, outside of the clear-cut areas, it's a judgment call by the referee. So how much touching is allowed? Again, it's kind of a judgment call by the ref.
Try to avoid all possible.
I'm interested in being commissioner. How much does it pay? Not enough.
Do you like to get yelled at?
So don't do it for the money. Like, seriously, if you're trying to be a commissioner for the money, don't do it.
You need to go to the NBA, MLB, NFL.
Yeah.
Can I do it without knowing the rules?
No, my father.
You like getting yelled at for no reason? Making everybody
So, I mean,
I'm making the
obviously there's positives and negatives about it. The biggest thing is, if you're going to be a commissioner of a league, your number one motivation for doing so should be you want to make the league succeed and improve. Because if that's not your goal, you're probably going to fail.
All right, so where does Waka have kickball leagues? So we got Shore, we got Virginia Beach, Shore. Right?
Virginia Beach.
And we have Peninsula.
Peninsula, there's one in Yorktown, Hampton. Actually, there's two in Hampton. So there's the Wednesday League, the Phoebus League. So there's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Okay. And so the south side is only Shore?
For right now, yes.
Right now.
Right now.
I suggest Chesapeake.
There is some plans for 2020.
All right. I'm just saying it because I'm new.
There are plans for 2020.
Yeah. Good luck. Have fun.
Start your own commission.
But seriously, if you're seriously interested in being a commissioner, reach out to me, talk to me. I will give you the ins and outs, what's involved, give you all the information you want to know. Because we're always looking for motivated people who want to grow and expand leagues. When does bowling start in Virginia Beach? I haven't seen or heard anything about it in a long time. So we were going to try to start a holiday league that started in November. Didn't pan out. Actually, it was going to be late October start. Didn't pan out. We're going to be trying again in February. Fear not. I will be posting in the Virginia Beach Club Waka page about it.
Some of these questions are really good. Hey, can I highlight a few and like
Where's the leak?
there's quite a few questions that
Where's the leak, ma'am?
quite a few of the questions speak to maybe like the dating section that we used to have.
Yeah, where's Janae?
I don't know what this "Where's the leak" question is.
I don't either.
Inside joke.
Bye.
It is a ma'am.
What are we gonna do about people who get really drunk at bucket heads?
You put them on the top of the hood.
Love you, Mark.
Mark, we missed you so
Yeah,
much.
you Mark. You post live videos where they crawl in someone's vehicle.
Yeah, pretty much.
No,
What happens at Buckets does not stay at Buckets.
So, okay, in
It goes
general,
on a Facebook Live.
if we notice someone really drunk, we try to get them in an Uber and go home. I mean, that's end of the day. That's what we try to do. In general, that's what most bars try to do. They see someone really drunk, try to get a taxi, Uber, get them home safely. That's the goal.
Where was I saw one a minute ago.
Dear guests and host, which team do you think will win the championship? I'm gonna go with Elite.
No, I'm not going to go SK.
Okay.
I'm taking SK. I think SK.
Why do you think SK?
I don't know. I watch them play, and when they're on, they're on. I think they can take them. I really do.
It should be a good game.
That's what I'm hoping.
I'm gonna go with Elite just for the fact that they have given up 6 fucking runs all season. Like that's pretty ridiculous.
That's really good.
That's pretty ridiculous.
I will tell you, so my personal goal, I didn't really say this until a couple games in which we haven't had me and Troy pitch all season, was to average 1 run a game.
Well, you failed because you're averaging less than 1 run a game.
No, that's succeeded. I like to exceed expectations.
Just Cam, rooting for you.
So I mean, honestly, that's my pick. Elite. They were my preseason pick too.
I like the current number 17. That's a good question.
All right. Hottest guy in the league, Mafalda, to you.
Mafalda and Dana.
I'll get to answer this question.
Then we'll go to the peanut gallery.
I don't have an answer, sorry. I'm going to say Kevin because he's sitting right
Oh,
there.
I love
And because he's on my team, so I need to make him happy most of the time.
Just don't puke on my
Kickball.
feet.
Should I? Wait, what?
Did I miss something? So, ladies, if you
Oh,
got an
I
answer
did,
for that,
I did.
let us know.
All right. So most social team.
How come I'm the only one answering that
I
question?
know, Dana's right here. We
I'm
didn't,
not- you guys need to answer that question.
Because Dana didn't
Quality
answer.
motherfuckers, answer that question.
Okay, hottest guy.
And you can't say yourselves, that's lame.
Well, no, I will say this. The one guy that I have girls ask me the most about is Davin. And that's not just people in the league, but outside of the league too, randomly at the bar.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, hey,
Need to go.
Davin is a young, attractive guy.
That hair.
That hair.
So, ladies, throw it out there. Who do you think the hottest guy in the league is?
Dana?
You're all hot.
Send us
Yay!
messages, give us answers if you think, ladies.
All right, Dana for office in 2020.
Yes! Vote!
All right,
Vote Dana.
Dana, what's Dana's answer?
Hottest guy?
Yeah.
Let's see. Any guy being like, damn, pretty good looking guy. Of course you got Ryan, of course.
No.
Of course you got Ryan, of course.
How much did he pay you for that?
Yeah,
That is a bullshit. There's not a politician.
that commissioner money.
He's in the run for 2022, be careful.
You know what? Hottest guy? Cut out.
Talbot.
Talbot cut out. Talbot cut out. Hottest guy out there.
That's the
Actually,
statement.
no. I will say this. There's photo evidence to prove that.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
And he left us for Mark.
No, that would have been the question. Which guy got around the most?
He went. He
He's
went
currently
on
in
road
Mark's
trips.
bed, so.
He went on road trips.
And
We
another
didn't say
state.
with who. We just said who got around. the most.
Most social team.
Obviously,
Check
red
the
hot.
points, yeah, check the points.
I would say either fireballs or sheet.
Yeah, I would have to say Fireballs Deep or.
I mean, part of that though. I mean,
Shit.
fireballs deep. I mean, half their team works. But still, I mean, that's nice that they come to their
Yeah.
place of work when they're not working to socialize.
No, I mean, just from like the karaoke and everything else. I mean, the social points are another thing. I mean, there's some technical stuff there, like field
let's not talk about
cleanup.
karaoke because I'm upset with Corey about karaoke.
Whoa, why are you upset about karaoke?
Because every time I go to like support him, like, he puts my name on the list.
Oh, he's trying to support you.
Damn you, Corey.
Keep doing it. Do it twice a day.
All right, what's up? So 2 questions in a row. What's up with Kicker Mode and Red Hot Chili Kickers not playing tomorrow? So 2 reasons. One,
Who asked this question first of all?
I don't know.
That's it.
So I kind of talked about it earlier, but reffing support is a big reason. For the playoffs, I want to have very good refs available. I don't want someone to be complaining about a playoff game. Like, we lost a playoff game because we didn't have a ref who knew the rules. So every single one of our games on Monday has qualified people in head ref programs. That's very important. Number 2, there's gonna have to be some scenario of some team not playing, because for those who do a lot of kickball, we could have done Saturday playoffs. There would have been a conflict with other stuff going on. We were not really prepared for that. The Saturday playoffs was not on the radar.
Saturday's not really good right now.
Yeah, so we're doing 2 Mondays in a row.
There's what? Over the next 2 Saturdays, there are 3 kickball tournaments.
At least. So that also factored into it. Also,
I appreciate that consideration, though.
another factor too was not so much even the opening week games and the referees, but also going to, I hate to say more serious games, but the semifinals and finals. I didn't want any of those potentially top teams to be on different footing. So, like, if you look at the schedule for the second week of the playoffs, the number 4 and 5 teams, which are Red Hot Chili Kickers and Kick-Em Mode, play a play-in game. Then all the teams who advanced in the 1, 2, 3 seeds, or potentially, are all going to be playing at the same time. And then, so in other words, you don't have a team that plays one of those top teams that plays at 6:30, has an hour break to rest, and then plays another game, instead of a team that plays back to back to back. So that was another consideration as well.
So by bringing up with 2 weeks, what you're saying is no team's going to play more than 2 games in a row.
Right. Except for the championship.
Well, semis and champions.
The only team that would potentially have to play more than 2 in a row would be Kick-Em Mode or Red Hot Chili Kickers if they make it to the championship game.
So there's going to be 3 levels of games, championship night?
Second week, yes. So there's only going to be one 6:30 game. Red Hot Chili
That's right,
Kickers.
because you're going to have...
Yeah.
Okay.
There's only 2 games for everybody else.
I mean,
But that was
makes sense.
That was the best I could do to try to keep it as fair as possible and also have ref support.
Because if 4 or 5's going to win and you win 3 straight games, you deserve to win.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, like we don't want to say that the regular season means nothing.
Go back to the bracket real quick, though.
All right, here's the bracket.
All right. The only complaint I have about this, though, is that you got Kick Mode and Red Hot playing, which basically is a warm-up game, and then you got Elite coming out cold playing.
That's the only... I mean, but I understand why you did it.
I mean, there was gonna be one scenario like that I couldn't avoid somehow.
Yeah, but I guess my only thing is it shouldn't be against the top team.
I don't get loud.
But here's the other thing, though. Elite, their game is at 7:30. There's only one game at 6:30, so they can spend 6:30 to 7:30 warming up if they want to.
But no, I'm talking about the second.
He's had 3 tacos.
Right. So Elite. So let me pull up.
Because the first week we'll play the winner of Wasted
Let me pull
Potential.
up this. Upcoming.
I want to make sure I'm looking at this right.
So, oh shit. Hold on. You can't see it here.
I'm not so much worried about the first week.
I mean, I'm really not worried about it, but I'm just saying it's like, that is the one thing that I've noticed about a lot of kickball tournaments that I do, is that when you get a top seed, that sometimes you get a bye, but the bye sometimes
as a little bit of a crutch because the team that you're playing has played 1 or 2 games and they're won.
No, and I do get that, but see, here's the other thing though. So like at 6:30, if you can see here, no one else is playing at 6:30. So Elite, if they wanted to,
Yeah,
or
we gotta come and
SK
go.
or
Yeah,
Pac-Man's
whoever.
Revenge or
If you're not
whoever
playing
else,
at 6:30, come and get warmed up. Yeah. All
they
right,
could
cool
come in and they can warm up.
All right, fair enough.
And because I will have 2 fields set up anyway.
That's
So-
what's going to happen with us.
Again, that's kind of the best I could do with the situation. There was going to be some anomaly somewhere. See if we got any more questions so far. No question after Ashley said I glisten.
How do you come up with a question after that?
I don't know.
It's over with.
All right.
I did get bonus earlier, but I was trying not to make a mess.
I need to respond to something quick. I'm trying to sell a bookshelf. I have someone trying to pick it up at 6. I am not going to be there by 6.
Thank you.
So we got next question.
Oh, give me a second.
Okay, we can handle this. Rookie of the year.
Oh, okay. Wait, no. This is the next one here. What non-member events?
What are the member events happening this month? What are the instruments?
Yes, fucking boost. We have, my husband has Seattle next week. Fucking good. Still play Seattle next week.
Go over there so that we can do our own podcast.
All right.
This podcast.
All right,
after
so
this.
what non-member events are happening this month? Well, this was one. This was one. Everybody who showed up for Club Waka got a free beer tonight.
Yeah, but that's a.
There aren't too many. There aren't really any open plays happening this month.
Can I make a
So
suggestion?
sure.
Can we have a local or regional Waka annual event?
Like what kind of event?
So because I mean, obviously, I understand like every season has an end of the season party. There's some charity events that go on throughout the year. There's regional tournaments that go on, but like have like an annual Waka party for Hampton Roads. Make sure it's planned in advance. Dates go out in advance. So like everybody from Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, all the way to Williamsburg, and everybody just come in like.
I know the people on
Annual
the
Waka
like, that
party.
play, you know, like, Ken Griffey Jr., everyone knows,
Might be doable.
But that was like
Doesn't have to be anything like extravagant. Like get like 5 kegs or anything, but like I mean, just maybe get a sponsor bar that could support that many people, have some specials, and just have everybody come out and socialize. And because I mean, that's one thing is like, there's not a lot of people that there's some people that double dip between leagues and everything, but getting everybody together.
Wow!
What?
He froze up for a second or two there.
You read way into that. Trust me, you read way into that. No, I'm saying that from the perspective of that, like I've always heard great things about the Peninsula Leagues, and because I mean, what is like one of these like 18 teams? Like I mean, they have.
I know the Williamsburg League sells out, but I think it's 12 teams.
12.
But they sell out. They've sold out for like last 3-4 seasons.
Yeah. But like I mean, I would be interested in like getting to know some of those teams, potentially look at maybe playing up there one season, like just. I'm only saying that because I'm getting ready to move too. So.
Yeah.
You want to talk about your move?
No,
That's twice now.
I will say this,
What did
like,
we do?
during reffing the tournament, the charity tournament, obviously it was up in Hampton.
Yeah.
There were a lot of Peninsula teams, or at least players involved. And I saw a lot of players out on the field. They're like, I have no idea who that is. I don't know that person. There were some
Right.
teams like, I don't know anybody on this team, you know?
Right.
It would be cool, obviously, to know those people. A little bit selfishly to recruit those people for tournaments, but,
Well, that and I want to do the Peninsula draft season. But
I did that one season.
I want to do it one season. It was one season. It's not about you. Huh? It is all about me, damn it. It's
not.
Not for him. He's moving to Chesapeake.
No, the reason I did the Peninsula draft, I did that the year before we started the draft down here to kind of see what it was all about. Kind of as like a preview. So next question, Rookie of the Year.
Oh, thank you.
Who are the best new players this season? No, rookie is first time player this season.
With Walker.
I don't think my fellow elite members are probably watching this, but my vote goes to Low.
Who was that?
That was our free agent that went out them.
Oh,
I promise. I
You
did.
scared him away?
it actually
I
was
don't know what
not.
happened.
Actually,
Was it?
it was partially Kevin's fault.
How was it my fault?
No, it was actually kind of partially Kevin's fault.
Was her name Low?
Lauren.
Lauren.
No, she's kind of new to the area.
She moved here from Florida. I got that much.
She was looking for people more her own age. Obviously, you were too old, Kevin.
I am
Oh, so
I am old.
now in retrospect, like, unless free agents contact me during the season, like before the season, I don't know. I put her on that team on Elite, which is primarily older people who are married. So
I'm not married.
no, but you were old apparently. So
Ouch.
It's kind of your fault then. Isn't it his fault then?
I can say that because I'm old too. So
No, well, like yeah, because pretty much when Elite comes to after party, it's me. Ricky might show every
a couple
once in a while.
times this season.
And she was like,
and I feel bad about
but
that.
no, but honestly, this is what happened, okay? Because she gave me a ride up here and everything. Found out very quickly that she's an introvert, but she was looking to meet other people. Obviously, this is the biggest Waka season we had ever, and it was Fireball night.
Oh yeah.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Enough said.
Right.
Enough said.
Yeah, that was a
So
crazy
I mean,
night.
like,
It's everyone's fault.
like she left like 10 minutes after getting here.
Yeah.
I mean, I was trying to introduce her to everybody, because like she was new to the area. I think she was just overwhelmed.
Yeah. And like,
But it's
happens.
it's a running joke on our team. Everyone wants to know what happened.
but now it's all Kevin's fault.
It's not my fault.
No,
No,
she quit.
she quit after the first week.
No, and no. I reached out to her. I did reach out to her. I got a response from her, and she's like, "It's just not really my thing." I tried to hey, there's other people, and didn't really hear back from her. So.
So Lauren, if you're watching, hi. I apologize.
She's probably not. She blocked the group.
Yeah. No, she watches every week.
I mean, it was kind of hard. I mean, it was Fireball night. I mean, which there's a question up there about when we're going to have another Fireball night.
Best captain of the season.
I want to say Mark because I miss him so much.
Oh, Mark gets my vote.
No offense to other captains, Mark. Why am I the only one answering these damn questions?
I said Mark.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm gonna not go for Mark just because he's the commissioner. He was the least knowledgeable captain of everybody.
What is Mark?
Oh, you got the winning vote.
Peanut gallery, say your line. Oh, but he was fun. He was good, right?
Well, he's probably a good captain. I wouldn't know. Yeah, I know.
Next question.
All right. Have you had any team building activities? You look so united with your team.
Barbecue?
Oh, you've had
Well, no, I tried to have a team barbecue, but that was a shit show.
haven't you had practices?
Mafalda.
Oh, yeah, the practices. How did those go?
Don't you have practices?
Practices were
Yeah, we had
good.
practices. What?
Can we get some knowledge? Who attended the barbecue?
Oh, 2 people.
And
2 motherfucking
was
people.
it barbecue or was it crap?
Was the food good?
Yeah, only you can answer that.
Don't ask
Yeah, you don't want to answer that question.
You're the only one who showed up.
Was the food
Food
good?
was excellent.
Okay.
Absolutely excellent. He's a great cook.
Oh, there we go. I can
You
barbecue
cooked
shit.
too? I'm so happy I did.
There we go.
Barbecue.
I thought you-
Grilled. Sorry.
I
He
don't know.
grilled.
Yeah.
Was that a better word?
I can burn shit with fire. There we go.
Fire,
Fire and
fire
seasoning.
generally takes that care of itself.
exactly. I mean, as long as you don't turn it into charcoal, it's pretty much good, right?
When's the end of the season party?
Ooh, that's still under discussion.
Nobody knows.
Favorite drink of choice? Moscow Mule for me, hands down.
I gotta be careful with this one.
I don't know.
No, a couple weeks ago, right? I came here after softball, and a girl tried to buy me a drink, and I was like, "Well, thanks, I don't drink." And she goes, "What kind of a bitch of a man doesn't drink?" And I was like,
That sounds like she'd be a good buddy of ours.
"I was like, me?"
Hey, consider this way.
I like that.
She's like, "What kind of a bitch of a man doesn't drink?" And I was like, "Oh,
Horrible.
me."
My favorite drink, I haven't had it in a while. 20-year Happy Band Week.
Water with
I
lemon.
was going to say icy beer, but that's not my favorite.
What?
Icy
Oh,
beer.
well, you do drink Icy Light. Why? Why do you drink Icy
That's
Light?
not really my favorite. Oh, I don't know.
Who are you looking for?
Derek.
Derek just got some $1 tacos.
Hey, that's a really good Laka shirt there.
What does it say?
Back for another shirt.
No, shit. Did they print those up for War of the Wings? They must have.
Probably. I know John and Angie over there today.
Yep.
I couldn't make it.
So yeah, quick pause. Shout out for Bucketheads. They are trying to get their third consecutive trophy at War
Yeah.
of the Wings at Waterside this weekend.
I have some sitting here.
Product placement.
So anybody else have a favorite drink they want to mention?
No, that's not my favorite drink though.
Water.
I don't know if I had to
Water with
vodka
lemon.
something or Fireball just because they were nice to us.
That was not nice to us.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching everybody.
I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it, but I'm just saying, like,
I enjoyed watching everybody. I'm like, you okay?
a lot
You
more
okay?
could have happened. You know?
Do you kiss on the first date?
It took 6 months. Not the
I know.
kiss. I'm talking about-
Wow, Kevin.
Kevin, why are you telling my secret, man? Why are you telling what
Take a
happened
long
between us?
time. Good for you going slow.
That first date.
That's on video. No,
That was bad.
I need to cut that and post it
Yeah,
everywhere.
My 6 months
Snip it out.
was about
Wait, hold on.
Fireball. It was about Fireball, okay?
Hold on. No. I'll clip this part out.
You
Don't even worry
okay?
about
You
it.
okay out there, Penny Gallery? You're turning red more than anybody else is. Look at you.
Oh my
We
God.
started right about 5, so approximately 58 minutes in. Got it.
You had this in the first, though. I need to prove that.
Let's see.
That-
No.
that was-
I'll post it on the
Everybody.
group page.
That was good.
No, I thought you were seriously answering. I'm like, what?
Let's see. Kiss on the first date? I think it depends. It depends how the
It
date's
really
going.
did. It took like fucking
Yeah,
6
How
months.
the date's going. I've had first dates where I
Depends.
kissed a
It
girl.
depends.
I've also had 10 dates where I finally kissed her. It all just depends on the
Oh.
girl. Yeah,
Damn.
10's a little
Easy.
long.
10's a little long.
just how you feel.
This is Janae's dating section. Where's Janae at?
So it just all depends.
Tag her in
The worst thing though is to go in for a kiss and get rejected. That's just
Oh.
that's the worst thing to do. So make sure if you're gonna do it.
I just make sure to carry my inhaler with me.
The movie Hitch had a great 80-20.
Hey, at least you got the reference.
Ourtime.com.
Okay,
Hitch had a
we're
great
gonna pause
reference.
for 30 seconds for
80-20.
our advertising partner. Our time. Our time.
And back to it.
Back to
All right.
I mean, that was a quick 30 seconds.
All right. So it depends.
Depends on you.
It depends.
God, where's Talbert? Where's Talbert?
I don't think that's a set answer. I think it's an it depends.
No, no.
Depends, but usually.
What's a date?
Right.
Go to karaoke song.
Oh, Journey.
I like how
Jeremy.
Journey.
Oh, Jeremy. I was like, who the hell's Jeremy?
Jeremy, his song.
But that's not a song though. That's a band.
You know what I'm talking
No, it isn't.
Journey.
Down,
Journey.
south, believe.
That's Journey.
All I gotta say is Journey. You know the song,
Yeah, but they have more songs.
but you knew the song I was talking about.
'Cause you're old and old
Thank you.
people-
Oh.
Ooh. Ouch.
Doesn't bother me at all.
I'll take that because I think I was the oldest one sitting here, so I'll take that.
How old are you?
I don't know. I don't have a good song. I'll sing it.
He's like, I'm not
What
answering.
would you sing at karaoke?
I don't sing karaoke
Exactly. What would you
unless
sing?
Corey's working.
Journey, don't stop
I have no
believing.
karaoke. Actually,
It's Sweet Caroline. I will say though, oh God, what night was it? I was out one night recently and Corey was working, and he tried to get me to sing a country song.
oh shit.
Corey does not know me very well.
I'm gonna make you sing a country song now.
Fuck that.
Alright, what's next?
I can do like a country like humbucking hillbilly voice, but
So
I
3 years at Bucketheads playing kickball. The only time I've done karaoke is when my team's won a championship.
I've never done
We are the
karaoke here. I
champions.
can see that.
Summer League.
Yeah.
I have sung
2
karaoke.
summers in a row for me.
It still works.
I think I've sung karaoke maybe 4 or 5 times in my life, and if it's 4, then 3. If it's 5, it's 4. Times I've done Sweet Caroline.
Go-to dating app.
Our time.
Where's Talbert? Talbert, I need your support.
I thought you were on Farmers Only.
No, it's our time.
Okay.
Zooks, you got Match, you got
Our
what?
time.
Face.
No, your
No.
go-to.
You need to try our time.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's a new one.
The one I like is I actually like Bumble. You're just like, okay, I'm interested in you. If she's interested in you, she'll reach out. If she doesn't, doesn't bother me. That's a waste of my time.
You need to try our time.
That's actually a good point.
So okay, so here's the thing. You need to try our time, and then come back next week and tell us about it.
It's a toss-up for me. Hinge or Bumble, one or the other.
A what?
Hinge or Bumble.
What the fuck is Hinge? Door Hinge?
It's a dating app.
Oh.
Ryan's on all of them. He'll know.
I did want. I'm looking into.
I've probably been on all of them. I've probably been on all of them.
I'm still sticking with our time.
When are we going to have a fireball night again?
Are you sure you want to have one?
I mean, every night Mark's here, he buys
All right,
Fireball.
hold on. I'm gonna call out the Fireball rep. And then we'll have a party in 6 months.
The goal is to have at least one fireball night every season.
Is it
So
gonna be
winter.
the first night though, every season?
No, not necessarily the first night.
Okay.
No, please.
Oh, thank you.
Can I get-
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, because first nights are rough.
I kind of. I mean, as long as I
I mean,
have.
it certainly breaks the ice. But
Ryan only.
I don't know.
Ryan only. Who was the one that got away?
Oh.
I wonder who asked that.
Oh.
I think everybody should answer that. I think everybody should answer that question.
The one that got away.
Nobody got away from me. That's my question. That's my answer.
Does it count if they come back and leave and come back again? Oh.
I'm going through puberty at the moment.
So Ryan only, you want everybody to answer?
Anybody can answer that. That's an interesting question because normally it's kind of like that until you find someone else better, right?
But I mean, like. Who got away?
I know who Ryan thinks got away.
That's a very interesting question.
Him.
That's a very interesting question. 'Cause, like, you could look at that in different perspectives.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's like if you find someone better, then that other person never got away, right?
No, it's true. That's good perspective.
Yeah.
But I think there's sometimes you find somebody that's you were just compatible with. It worked, and for some reason you just didn't recognize what you had, so you lost it.
I mean, technically, if you're single, they all got away.
Let's
be
you
honest.
regret the most?
No,
I mean, let's
the
just
one
be
the most.
honest, right?
Her name was Wendy Ferris.
Mom, I mean, what if you broke up
back
with them?
in
Tag her over there.
2000.
He went full name.
She's married.
First and last.
Married with 2 kids, with a bunch of kids.
She ain't watching.
This was back in what? 2000.
Before Facebook?
Yeah, this is 2000. Back in 2000.
She's the first Bumble.
She's got real.
This you just 19 years ago. Full name, call her out.
Who is actually? This is a very good question. Who is your best teammate this season?
Oh, this season.
And actually, I'll add this on. Why? Who is your best teammate and why?
Oh.
I mean, Pammy's always my best teammate. So.
Why? Why is she your best teammate?
Because she dances around, she has
Okay.
no filter, she keeps running. I mean, I can go all day. Love you, Pammy.
That's true. I'm like screaming, Pammy, stop! And she's still running.
Like, no,
Stop!
no,
She's still running.
no.
Oh. And then she gets out. Best teammate. Let's see. Damn, that's hard. It's a tie for me. Between
No ties allowed.
sorry Dana.
No
Sorry,
ties
Dana.
allowed.
That hurt.
Jeff and Rick. And my reason why is like
It's like a 5-person team.
those two guys, I know what I'm going to get out of them, which is 100% of what they can do every single week.
Here's my question.
Mine's Lauren.
What
just
sport?
don't-
Or is it just kickball only? Or what sport?
My best teammate.
Monday Night Kickball, your current team.
My best teammate was Lauren. I don't think it
Softball, I got
deserves an
volleyball.
explanation.
Oh.
Are you still trying to go, oh, is she the one that got it?
Oh. It's because you were too old, Kevin.
Yeah, she
Our
was looking for
time,
someone
our time.
younger.
It's our time.
Dude, every single question, like first kiss on the date, like whatever. No, kiss on the first date, one that got away.
Wait, no.
I didn't have a
6
team.
months. 6 months.
6 months. Oh, that girl.
Whole reference in
Oh,
her.
she's not watching. She's not on Facebook.
So, best teammate. Who's your best
She
teammate?
got on
For
Facebook.
kickball?
She's not, yeah.
I've got two. Tori and Brooke.
Troy and Brooke.
Yeah, Tori and Brooke, for some reason,
I
from my
can't,
perspective, may not be
sit
from
there,
theirs.
eat
No, we
with
just
my
click.
hands.
You just kind of just like, hey, what's that? Like, we were able to.
What about
kind
you,
of
Dana? Who's your best
swap
teammate?
ideas.
Not you. Actually, mine's a little bit weird because, like, I consider the entire team best teammates because I get in the zone and I'm really, like, competitive.
We have a lot
But
of
then-
politicians
no,
up here tonight.
No. No, my only problem is that I get really competitive and then I kind of like I get pissed at myself if I like make a mistake. So then I kind of just
I
chill
can
by
see that in
myself.
you.
So you'd say your
So
best teammate is the only person that's undefeated against your foot cup.
Oh.
Oh, when's
To
flip?
be
when's
fair,
flip-
we didn't play tonight and I would have whooped her ass.
Time out.
And she had teammates. I had
thought-
no. Yo,
3
I
times.
have 4 cups and
flip it right now, right here. Boom. Whoever makes it wins.
That's not a whole game, but
I am.
for it.
Man, you're calling me
All right.
out.
Who's your best teammate, Kevin?
Lauren.
Lauren? All right.
That's the only answer I can go with right
All
now.
right. How many people is it appropriate to date per season?
As many as you like.
As many as you.
As long as they're on different teams. I'm
Yeah,
down.
as long as they're not
So
friends.
different
You can't be
teams.
friends.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, yeah.
Damn.
You want to make sure you don't break up any friendships.
How many people is it appropriate to date at one time?
As many as you can.
Was this a Ryan only question?
No.
I have,
not.
I have a feeling it was.
Something followed. How many people is it appropriate to date at one time?
One?
Oh, that's boring.
It's just my personal opinion. I
Um,
don't judge if you.
It all depends on if you're all communicating, you're all open.
You totally hit the camera. I saw it.
No, like, all right.
The camera's so.
All right. I need a slight bump towards Dan. There. No, what are you doing? No! Put it down on the floor. Put it down on the floor. Put it down on the floor.
Earthquake!
All right.
Look.
Slowly rotate
Why can't you do it at the
towards
camera?
Daniel. Towards Daniel.
A
A little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. Go right there. Right there. Right there.
But see, like, okay, Janae, didn't Janae have like a 2-3 like dating section?
But she's missing, so we
Yeah.
Okay, but like, okay, so here's the whole thing, right? We got 5 people. What's your definition of dating? Ooh, good question.
Dating. Oh, that's a good question.
If you can't tell, I'm a very analytical person.
No, I'm trying to. My definition of dating. Somebody you go on dates with?
Okay, what's your definition of dating?
First date's not even a fucking date. It's a meeting.
Interview.
Amen.
So you kiss on every first date.
Every meeting.
What's your definition of dating?
I think if it's something like consistent, like at least 3 kind of meetings, and then you're like, okay, we're dating.
Committed relationship to me is dating.
Holy shit!
What?
Committed relationship.
All right. She's.
If not,
Hold on. She's young. She doesn't know any better yet.
oh, shit,
I fucking love dating.
But no,
So dating
first, because
dating is a verb, right?
Yeah.
It's an act of doing something.
So
It's not a relationship. A relationship,
like I use dating apps. So I will go on like a lot of first and second dates to figure out if it's even a yes or no thing.
right.
But you're not dating them. That's what you just said. If you're in a committed relationship.
It depends what you
then
call
yeah.
dating. Committed relationship is not dating.
That's a relationship.
That's a relationship. That's not dating.
You don't get to a committed relationship without dating somebody.
That's true.
Dating somebody is getting to know someone, spending
Yeah,
time
you
with
get to know
them,
them,
like.
and then you date
But
them.
Then you're in a
no,
relationship.
but like,
then you
but
can
like,
make
taking a
okay,
while.
but here's the
It's a long
thing.
time.
The
Can I just
idea.
say immigrant and let's finish
No.
this?
I think the most important thing is that you're honest and upfront about everything. Because obviously some people like, oh, I went on one date with you. We're exclusively dating until we decide it's a relationship or not. That's how some people
right,
are.
but there are people though. Okay, so you can get in a point of dating to where you should be exclusively dating because you recognize that the date or the dates are worthy of being exclusive because you see value in that person.
Yeah. I go with something
To
like
go on a date just means the fact that you're getting to know
You're
someone.
trying it out.
Yeah,
Right,
There's
you're
also
getting to
a thing
know
called
someone.
dating with a purpose. What's your reason for dating? Are you just trying to get lucky, or are you trying to find something in a committed
That's not
relationship?
dating if you're just trying to get lucky.
That depends. See some guys do it.
We're
So it also
No,
depends.
they're-
What's your
more of a
purpose in
hooking
dating?
up kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that's different than
We'll
not dating.
we'll ignore
I mean,
we'll throw out the
We can all-
outlier, the youngest person in the
Yeah.
group who has the least experience.
We can all agree to disagree.
I'm happy the way I am. Thank you very much.
Would you like to expand on that?
How many sports are you commissioning in the winter? I'm assuming this is for me.
I am commissioning 0. Thank you.
0 on this end.
Hopefully I will be commissioning 0.
We're doing kickball.
What are you gonna do?
We're currently checking for someone for kickball. I am the emergency backup plan, but I will also be guiding them along the way if they are the commissioner.
Vote Dana.
2020.
So my plan is to commission 0, but it could be anywhere from 0 to 2.
That narrows it down.
Yeah. Good answer.
Glad I answered your question for you. Potentially dodgeball, depending on how John's knee goes.
I love the last one.
What happened to the refs last week? Not cool starting late, and commish didn't seem to care for those who were affected. We're missing game time when teams paid to play, not go Waka.
Yeah, no, I get what they're saying. There's a lot of complaints about.
No, I get that.
It happens sometimes. You can't.
There was a team that didn't show up to ref. That happens. I am not happy about it when it happens.
Yeah, I mean, so this is like I'm gonna chime in real quick, and this isn't like talking about you as a commissioner. I think it's just the structure of WACA. I do think it's something that probably WACA should evaluate as a whole about the whole ref situation as far as his refs, and which I think this season you've done a good job as far as like doing this like head rep program to hopefully get some people that are qualified and incentivize them of showing up so you have head rep. But that is one thing that trying to get the team like. Knowing that I've had rep a lot of games, like trying to get the teams there, trying to show up on time myself, and trying to get them to start on time. It is something that, because we have up to 15 minutes, 10 or 15.
The grace period's 15 minutes to prevent a forfeit.
Right. So I think that can go both ways from a standpoint of like, maybe potentially lessen that time for a forfeit, maybe down to 8 to 10 minutes, like cut it in half. I know that we don't want the forfeits, but at the same time, 15 minutes to wait around to then play a potentially another 55-minute game really pushes things back when you have as many as we do in our league. And it impacts, because I know like last week, I got to a situation where it was, I'm not going to say it was a 2-1 game, but it was a close game. And they were going into the last inning, and it was like, all right, technically they're within the 5 minutes of like starting another inning, and then we started that inning and it ended up being a really long inning. Now all of a sudden, my team's over there on the field waiting for me to get over there to play because I'm reffing the game. So there's no, which I recognize, like there's no like perfect solution to it unless you go to the point of hiring refs. That's the only time that you can get a
Yeah,
perfect solution.
and I mean, and I'll just throw this out there. In the last week, there was a huge blow up in another league's page about how horrible their paid refs were because it's one ref behind home plate. So I mean, I don't think that's necessarily a.
Trust me. There's other leagues I play in the paid refs during the game or after the game. I cannot speak to. They will not have a discussion with me.
And here's the thing. It's not that didn't seem to care. Believe me, I do care. I put a lot of time and effort into crafting the head ref schedule and the other thing else. Unfortunately, I'm at the mercy if a team doesn't show up or there are assigned refs that they agreed to run into traffic or something like that. I wish I had a better answer for it. The one thing I can do, if it happens to be a persistent issue with one team, I can issue paper forfeits, which gives the offending team that didn't provide refs a negative penalty in the actual standings. But that's something I don't like to do unless it is a repetitive thing. I don't want to issue a paper forfeit because, they were supposed to provide 2 refs with a head ref. The 2 refs were late because of traffic. I don't want to issue someone a forfeit in the standings because of that. So, but it is something I do try to keep track of. So if a team is a regular offender of that, that's an option available to me. And I will say this for game time.
Our time?
I hate game time.
Okay. I got a little excited.
I hate it when teams lose game time. I will say the number one reason for losing game time is captains not being prepared with their lineups.
Oh, God.
That is the number one loss, not even close, of game time in the league. Inning swaps, and it takes a captain 4 minutes to get their team in the field.
But it's also up to the head ref to keep the game consistent. And there's also rules about the time once everybody's ready. Once a defense is established and you call a kicker up, like you have a period of time, right? Is it in there?
Well, I mean,
Is it in Walker or my thing? I got like 5 rule books in my head.
There's nothing written in stone. However, in Walker, if a referee determines that a team is delaying the game, like let's say there's a team on defense and the referee says, you know what, they're intentionally just delaying the game so they don't have to face kickers.
Right.
The referee can say, you know what, you're delaying the game, penalty, kicker, go to first base.
Right. And vice versa.
If the kicking team's delaying, you can say,
taking
you
too
know
much
what,
time,
if you don't get a kicker up here,
strike 1, strike 2.
yeah. And I did this in the charity tournament. I don't remember what team it was. It was one of the first rounds I was reffing. They just moved over from another field. The game start time was in like 5 minutes. And I'm like, hey, you guys, you're kicking. Who's your next kicker? And I kept talking to them, like 2 minutes. I'm like, hey, 2 minutes. And they were basically taking no action to get anybody up to kick. And so finally, at the 1 minute point, I was like, hey, this is a situation. You guys have been, I realized you had to swap fields. That was like 10 minutes ago. This is the game start time. If you don't have a kicker up there, I'm going to start calling people out. And sure enough, they got the kicker up there. They were a little pissed off at me about it, but you know what? We got the whole game played. So, but yeah, to directly answer the question, what happened to refs last week? A team had 2 refs designated. They ran into traffic and didn't get there. And yeah, it's not cool starting late. It never is.
When she said that, I was like,
There you go. Yeah.
So then when I found that she got that position, I assessed her than anything.
Bar hiring more people because took over an hour and 20 minutes to get 2 burgers,
God.
and I had asked for a refund.
Let's skip this one.
I get it. There's
We
a lot
all-
of complaints.
we
You can
all-
all complain. I'm in the same boat.
Here's the reality. If you have the late game, and we have 11 teams, there's going to be about 50 people rolling in here at 9 o'clock.
We can say 11 times, but it was
And 50 people come in here at 9 o'clock, they all want beer, and they all want a food order.
Yeah, okay, so...
I don't know any place on Shore Drive that can cook orders for 50 people all at once.
But I don't... Okay, so here's the thing, though. This is just my synopsis of it. I don't think it's so much the fact that we recognize the fact that as a consumer coming to a bar that it's going to take time to get prepared food. I think it's more about just getting the service of placing the order and getting drinks fulfilled. Getting drinks fulfilled, getting taken care of, and getting the order in is more important. Like I totally get it. You get 50, which we had close to 100 Fireball night.
Yeah.
You know. So, and obviously the league's getting big and everything. If you're going to place a food order, there's a lot of process and everything that goes into that. But generally speaking, the specials that we have, a pitcher of Bud Light, whatever it may be, a drink here or there, it's not a lot of complicated stuff. And I think that's just the one thing that we've been around long enough in this area. Buckheads has been a sponsor bar long enough to staff appropriately to handle that. And I think a lot of times it's more of just a need, it's more reactionary than it is being proactive on Monday nights. That's just my 2 cents. But yeah, I mean, from a food perspective, yeah, if you're ordering food, you just have to, you're going to have to be patient. But
Yeah,
from a standpoint of the fact of like getting the order in and getting taken care of and having someone come over to you, you shouldn't sit down at a table with a group and be there for more than 10 minutes without someone talking to you. Maybe 15 tops. And we've had situations where people come in here for 45 minutes to an hour before they can even put a drink order in. I mean, I think it's a great atmosphere in here and everything, but at the same time, they're not always prepared to handle what we bring.
Sometimes running out of Bud Light when
Yeah.
you know it's time.
And this is, and right.
9 p.m. You know.
But also
Well,
too,
no, I
and
will
this
say
is
this
the
though,
thing.
when it comes to running out of Bud Light, like typically it's like, you know what, we
They'll
ran out of
switch
Bud
over to
Light,
something
but
else.
we'll give you
Right,
another beer
they'll
for
still,
$5.
right, they'll still.
Yeah,
Pitcher.
But I think the other thing too, though,
though,
if we're going to continue to have this league at 8 teams or more per season, Bucketheads is not logistically the best place for us to go.
No, and that
Because
is
of the way that the bar is structured. I like the specials, don't get me wrong. Wings are great, half price burgers. That's great stuff. But also too, like us as a community of kickballers within one like season or league, it's hard for us all to socialize in the same spot. So we don't have a dedicated place, and we basically come in here and take over the whole fucking bar on both sides.
Yeah. No, it's rough because from a social perspective, I don't want to split us up to multiple bars because that does hurt the community.
Right. So I think it would be advantageous to find a place that can support our league. If we continue to be 18 plus, because I don't think I love this place, but I think if we're having 8 teams plus, Buckheads can't support it on a consistent basis.
I did on Thursday, and it impacts my next weekend.
And that's nothing against Bucketheads. It's nothing against their food, their drink, whatever. It's more or less just logistics. Like, I mean, like if we just look at this side of it, we overwhelm this one side of the bar, and then we spew over into the other side. There's the regulars here, and then also we're outside and we're doing bar games and social stuff.
No, I mean it's obviously there are a lot of factors involved.
I understand. I'm just giving my 2 cents,
No, and
which might turn into about 5.
And I'll be frank, like this season when we've been pushing like 80 plus people out here, it's been rough here.
No, right.
It is there
I mean, because
literally
you're talking
at
about
capacity.
right, and you're talking about an average of what, 15 people per team and 11 teams, right? So it's 165 people in the league.
Well, okay, so There's like right at 200 people sign up for the league.
Right. There you go.
We're looking on a given night. We're looking at probably a max of 40% turnout. Because obviously, there's 200 people. All of them aren't there on a game night.
No, right.
And not all of them come out.
Right.
But still, we're looking at 40% of that. So that's still a lot of people.
Right. If you get 60 plus people consistently coming out, which I get, like I remember when you first took it over and everything. I mean, yeah, like
It was
5
like
teams.
it was like 15 people.
Like
out there.
right. Like I get it. This was a great location.
Yeah.
But I mean, going forward, if we want to continue to expand the league, and the one thing about Waka that I've always enjoyed has been the social aspect of it. So to keep that going, I think that we have to kind of maybe revisit based on the season. If we have a smaller season, then great.
No, it's something to look at too, and I mean, obviously, something that I'll always try to do first is work with John to see what we can do to make things better. Because
I agree with you. I don't want to split up between two
for
bars.
example, like this season, there was a complaint earlier in the season, like, hey, there's not even enough pitchers for people to order beer.
Oh yeah.
So I talked to John, and next week have a
Yeah,
shit
more
ton of
pitchers,
pitchers.
yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of things that we can fix. Like even like last week. I mean, obviously this complaint came in last week, but like last week, I noticed when I came in, on every single table there were menus and silverware.
Yeah.
So they prepped ahead. They're like, we're going to put menus on every table, silverware on a table. So that's one less thing we have to do during the night.
Yeah.
You know?
But like even tonight, there was a table that came in. The full table is filled, and it took about 20 minutes to get a drink order. And again, I mean, I know they're like, not trying to look at it as it's always the case, but I do think that it's something that could potentially be better.
All right, so why do Wednesday night refs get $10 and on Monday $5? There are a shit ton less people.
What is that even referring to?
The head ref program.
Oh, I didn't know.
Cost per game.
I didn't get that. I didn't know that we were getting something.
So, yes. Couple reasons. One, it comes out of the social budget. So that's one factor. Two, this is the first time we've done a head ref program.
So I'm actually earning money every time I ref?
Yes, $5. You get a coupon
Per game?
Per game.
Damn, you got like 10 more seasons picked.
So again, this is something that we're just trying for the first time, seeing how it goes. And again, this is just the whole point of the head ref program is to, because there are people in the league who've always been head refs. Like, without getting paid, they just always, Kevin was like, we get paid for it? No, there's the people that have always taken pride in the fact that they're going to provide a good reffing experience for another team. And the head ref program is just a way to kind of reward those people who do that.
Well, I think a lot of what I noticed it too, just from being a pitcher, is like I noticed the inconsistency of just the strike zone. And then as I started playing more, the inconsistencies in the calls, the understanding the rules. So, I mean, I appreciate just from a standpoint of the fact that there's an incentive for people to truly understand the rules and, take initiative to have the best gameplay that we can out there. Right. There's always going to be situations. I mean, I think I don't know if it was you or Talbot threw me into the Waka rules page group, but there's stuff that comes up in there, which these are seasoned people, even more so than myself or you. Or there's still questions about hey, this came up. What do we do in this situation? Like the encroachment call, which Brent chimed in on about the charity tournament and everything. But I think that's the biggest thing is just having something to where people understand the gameplay, but then also understand the written rules.
Yeah. So I mean, it's the big thing is if you're trying to make money off the head ref program, you're probably not maybe the best candidate for head ref program. Because again, the whole point of the head ref program is to give you something back. If you're the kind of person who just wants to be a good ref for the league, that's taking your time to support. That's not saying it's always going to be $5,
I think it would
But
be
again, that's
good-
just where I started.
I
See
think
where-
it would
see
be
where it is.
good though, like if on a continuous basis we could have at least 2 people interested in becoming a head rep per team.
Yeah.
Because
And-
then it wouldn't.
And the other thing too, for my head rep program, like everybody who's qualified for the head rep program, you had to like know your shit. It just wasn't like
I took a
you know
test, guys.
someone raises their hand and like, oh, I'll be a head rep, and I say you're hired. It's like, okay, let's talk, take the test, see how you do on the test, and we'll go from there.
Oh yeah, let me
Bafalda would have
You would've
failed the
failed.
test.
You would have failed.
study for it and then still suck it in the past.
Uh-oh.
Just to shut you
Hey,
up.
positive.
Yeah.
The grass has been cut. Thanks you for jinxing us because it's not going to be next week.
Oh no! Okay, timeout though. Really, we're talking about cut grass in the fall. That shit's not even growing.
Hey,
dormant.
hey, it's fine.
That's not positive.
Tom, do you own any others? Tom's not even here.
No, Tom only knows SKK shirt. That's it.
Just read the question, he'll answer.
Talbert is definitely our time.
All right. Ryan, why are you representing for Pac-Man's team? So, it's interesting that's brought up
Oh, softball.
because the very first Virginia Beach League to use gold as their shirt color was Original Fusion. So why is Pac-Man's Revenge using Original Fusion colors? That's the real question here.
Yellow today.
I understand Mark wanted to copy my greatness and use gold. I'm sure I'll get a message from Mark about that. Hey Kevin, it's our time, baby.
It's our time. Our time. I love it.
I still have that rash on my butt up to my junk I got during the last spring season. Have any tips to clear that up?
Yeah, you
Look,
might-
we already told you go to the doctor. If you haven't already, let it go and die, and then we won't have to answer your
You
questions
need to
anymore.
put some cream on it.
Who's your dark horse for the playoffs?
See, I mean, so here's the whole
Actually,
thing.
my dark horse for the playoffs, whoever wins the Kicko Mode Red Hot game. That's my...
But see here, my dark horse for the playoffs isn't going to be my dark horse for the playoffs because of their position. I wouldn't say Shia, but they ended up in second place.
That doesn't make him a dark
I
horse,
would
you're
say
right.
I know.
one of my dark horse teams is not one of the teams I tagged in the top 4. So not
See,
Kicko
I
Mode.
think
Well,
I forget what I said. I think I had Shia at 5.
yeah.
I think I could be wrong.
I think our refs do the best they can. They don't get the appreciation they deserve.
Oh, thank you.
No refs do.
That's why I always
Being
try,
a ref is a thankless job.
I always try to say thank yous to the refs.
Who is the biggest dirtbag in the league?
Oh God, y'all do not say me just because I'm sitting next to you.
I mean, now that you mentioned it.
The fact that you jumped
Still on my
ahead
team, I can't
and
say
just
it.
like
Why did you need to? Why did you feel the need to defend yourself, Kevin?
Because last time when they asked about a particular person, they said that they. No, it wasn't.
No, I didn't.
My father said,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Kevin because he's sitting next to me. So I was like,
And because you're on my team, I try to expand on it.
All
hey,
right.
as long as it's positive.
Final mailbag question. How much touching is too much touching on a first date?
There's never enough
And
touching.
that's not-
Answer that thing again.
as much as she'll let you, I guess.
You have to call it
If it's consensual.
That's actually. You have to call it touching.
Oh, let's be right. As long as you ask for permission
It's consensual.
and you're not told no.
No means no.
As long as it's all consensual.
Consensual.
touching.
Consensual.
Apparently, at least one person.
Yeah. I was like,
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up
That was
here.
a long ass fucking
That was an hour and a half almost.
That's it.
Yeah, the peanut gallery needs to
All right, so
I feel
we're
like
letting this little
3
outro
hours.
screen roll here while we. Do we have anything else to talk about?
No.
All right,
Everyone
we're done.
leaves so that Dana's
We're done.
podcast-
Everybody
Good night. Be
who
safe.
tuned in, thank you very much.
Next time.
Have a good night.
Be safe.